Hello everyone. Chak De India, Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar, Lagan, Dil Bole Hadipa. What do all these films have in common? You guessed it, sports. Well, I don't know much about sports, but someone I know here does. He's the sports director for NBC Bay Area and has earned 2 Emmys. He anchors the nightly sportscast and is among the Bay Area's most well-known TV personalities. His show, Sports Sunday, brings in the highest ratings in the area. We are having a conversation today with NBC sports director and sports anchor right here at his workplace at NBC Studios. Please welcome Raj Mathai. Hi Raj, it's nice to be here at NBC Studios. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming to visit me. This is where I work. We could put you on the news right now.
Yeah, and this is such a nice place. I didn't expect it to be so big on the inside. It's wonderful.
Did you expect it to be a dump?
No, but from the outside you can't tell. From the outside you really can't tell. Well, I wanted to ask you, being of Indian descent, how did you or your family, did you think of going into this area? Everybody, they want to be an engineer, lawyer, doctor, all those things. How did you get into sports?
Well, my parents are into journalism, so growing up, it's almost like my parents were doctors or engineers, but they weren't. They were also journalists and business people. So since I was little, we came to the U.S. when I was 7, and from that point, I just fell in love with television and sports and journalism. So I've just combined all those three, and here I am. So really, since at the age of 7, I've been wanting to do this.
Wow. So you got a degree in journalism and political science. How do you think your degree prepared you for this career, and how do you think it didn't prepare you?
Well, the degree in journalism prepares you just like any industry. You learn the coursework, you learn the books and how to do things by the book. So that prepared me. But it doesn't teach you the real ins and outs of the industry. And that you just have to do by experiencing it.
Okay. Well, I would like you to experience this piece of gum.
Very nice.
One for you and one for me. And I think we're going to just eat it chew it on the air.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this would be really good. So,
You ready?
Ready. 1,
Right.
2, 3.
It's a very sensitive topic with me.
I know that.
Chewing gum on air, it brings back some nightmares, but it also makes me smile.
Can you talk about that?
Well, if you can see it, I'm sorry to be gross, but my first night on air, I was chewing gum like this. I was very nervous, your first night on TV, and the camera says, "Okay, Raj, we're coming out to you. 3, 2, 1, and right then I realized I was chewing gum. And now I would simply just
Swallow.
tuck it behind my mouth and talk. Hello, this is the 49ers and Raiders, here we go. But I was so nervous at that point, this was 15 years ago, I turned to the side and spit it out. Excuse me. And it just went out like that. Just a projectile. And my co-anchors just put their heads down and said, "Who is this rookie?" But I continued and did the 5-minute sportscast, and it was really embarrassing. I thought I was going to get fired, but I'm here, so I'm fine. It worked out.
Your boss gave you another pack of gum. Is that what it is?
My boss at the time, thank you. My boss at the time in Arizona, I went back to my desk thinking I was going to be fired. The next day I come into work, and he had about 60 packs of gum.
Wow.
On my desk, and everyone started laughing and clapping, and they said, "It can't get any worse.
Yes.
So you're fine. Everything is going to go good from here. It can't get any worse."
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking yesterday before coming here, I said, what am I going to ask Raj? But I just looked out the window and I said, oh, it's really dark. And you have to come to work when others are going home. You have to come to work in the evening when it's really dark. And then you're here till late night, 6 o'clock news, 11 o'clock news, and also Sunday. So your Sundays are pretty much at work. How do you balance that with your life and everything? Because you're a father, you're a husband. How do you manage all that?
It's difficult, but I think a lot of people can tell you that. Whatever industry they're in, you just have to find a balance. And I work an odd schedule, but for most people, it's odd. Going to work at 3 p.m., coming home at 1 a.m. Okay. But for me, it's the way it's been since college. I haven't set an alarm clock regularly.
Okay.
For 7 in the morning and the alarm goes off, or 6 in the morning. I haven't set an alarm clock since 1989.
Wow.
Because from high school, it went to college, and I had late classes in college.
Okay.
And then right into television. So for me, this is normal. As to how I balance my career and my time and a newborn at home, you just make time. and I love it. I still have days off. I don't work all the time.
Okay.
But I don't mind if people think I work all the time. That's okay.
Okay. What's going on with the Warriors and Niners and Cal? What's going on in sports right now?
Okay, in San Francisco sports right now, it is among the worst times in the last 25 years. 49ers aren't very good and haven't been. The Raiders are absolutely embarrassing. The Warriors are embarrassing. The Sharks are doing well. That's about it. But I grew up here. I've been here for more than 30 years, and it's among the low point of collectively of Bay Area sports. But it's all cyclical, so it'll turn around at some point. So it's a bad time for us right now.
Yeah, it must. And you must be aware, there's a lot of cricket going on in the Bay Area. Has someone contacted you, hey, Raj, could you cover our cricket?
All the time, and I love it. I get calls and emails if I'm out and about in the community, and not just Indians. I mean, it's Australians and Brits and Americans, everyone says, oh, there's cricket clubs in the South Bay and Fremont, in Marin County, and come out every Saturday we're playing. And it's not just like one or two cricket clubs. There are major teams around here in different divisions. Some of the high-end division and then just really the kind of the starter division. So it's catching on quickly.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see, a professional team in cricket. That would be really amazing in the Bay Area.
That would that might be a while, but well, maybe not. Maybe 3 to 4 years down the road there might be some sort of traveling circuit in the West Coast. There's tons of people here that are into it. And the money here, I mean, look at overseas and look at India now. I mean, the new league there, it's just there's so much money involved, and that's what attracts advertisers.
Raj, tell me about a memorable moment that you've had. You've had a bunch of them. I know the Olympic torch one must have been an amazing one. I actually have a picture of it right here. See, let me pull it out. All right. So this moment when you're carrying the Olympic torch must have been special for you. I mean, you've done it 3 times already. So it's a special moment. I mean, it's almost a tearful moment. Well, what was it like for you?
It was nice. It was exactly what you described. It's humbling because I was chosen to run the torch. I mean, this is the Olympic torch, and to run for this community. It was just that's how I'd really describe it. It was humbling just to represent the community, and at the same time, it was exciting. I ran the torch when it came through San Francisco, on its way to China, to Beijing. And at that time, there was also a lot of protesters in San Francisco surrounding this torch run. So it was a chaotic scene. I was running it, and there was a lot of fans, there was protesters, Secret Service agents, police. It was pretty chaotic, but it was obviously something I'll never forget.
Wow. Being Indian and taking a career up in sports and also in sports anchoring, how was it for you in dealing with all the competition and then, of course, rising above it all?
Well, that's a good question. There's competition regardless what you are to get into sportscasting. I mean, most people aren't successful. You try and get in, and there's not enough jobs. So that was competitive, but I like that. And then on top of that, being Indian, I don't think that hurt me at all. If anything, people were like, "Oh, wow, there's a unique look, a unique flavor." And remember, this is in the mid-'90s. Now there are a few dozen Indian sportscasters, but at that point, I was the first in America. And I don't think it hurt me. In fact, I got a great response from a lot of people of wow, this is something we haven't seen and energy we haven't seen. So I think it was okay. If it might have even helped me. But I think beyond color of my skin or anything like that, it was just the competitiveness, whether you're white, black, brown, or yellow, of getting into television.
This whole time we've been sitting here, we're chewing gum.
That's right.
We're not supposed to do that.
Well, do it Raj Mathai style.
Very good.
What?
All right. Woo. There's something to be said for making mistakes and growing from them. So
thank you for your time. I had fun, and thanks for the gum and reenacting that moment with me.
Well, I was just thinking about it. So it was really good to meet you again, and really nice to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Raj Mathai with NBC Bay Area. You are watching me on Sitare.